they have paid increasing dividends of 0.42, blah, 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 blah. Past 5 years, the firm estimates that future increases in its dividends will be comparable to the arithmetic average growth rate over these past 5 years. The stock is currently selling at $41.50 a share. You know the risk-free rate, you know the market risk premium. What is the cost of equity? Now, in this question, there are two ways to estimate cost of equity. Okay. Let me see. One of them is based on CAPM, where cost of equity is risk-free rate plus beta times market risk premium. So in this case, risk-free rate is 3.5 plus beta 142 times market risk premium of 8.6. That's one way. Let's make this green. Second one is based on the dividend growth model. Where price equals next year's dividend divided by R minus G, or R equals G plus the dividend yield. Expected dividend next year divided by price. So if you can figure out next year's dividend and the growth rate, we're home. What did I do here? How did I come up with this? Oh, because I'm in the... Somehow I switched. You know what they paid? Copy. So we'll figure out the average growth rate. Let's do this in Excel. I mean, we can do it by hand, but it's a lot easier here. Okay. Dividend 0, or let's do this. Year 0, 1. So -1, -2. Last year they paid 80 cents. For that 65.55. this year's dividend divided by last year's dividend minus 1. So I can calculate the growth rate, the average growth. So my D1 is going to be dividend last year times 1 plus the growth rate. That's cost of equity. Growth plus, let me do. Price now is 41.50. So cost of equity is growth plus dividend yield. So that's the second estimate. This is discount estimates. Use Excel to calculate G equals D1 equals 80 cents times 1 plus and estimate of R based on dividend growth model. %19.84%. Now, as my advisor used to say, and I don't think he's any longer an author on this, but he used to be. Is Jordan still the author on your textbook? One of the authors? I think so, but I'm not sure. He used to be my PhD advisor. If you have two ways to estimate something, well, I used to ask him, which one should I use? He says, use both, take the average. Because both of them are estimates, hence average is a better estimate. Average the two estimates. I don't know if there's a function like that. I'm simply hoping. 1571. No. Apparently, this is simple functions. $17.78. Right there. I do admit this is not quick and dirty, easy question, but if you follow the principles, there are two ways we can estimate cost of equity as required rate of return on stocks. One is the CAPM, the other is the dividend growth model that we know of in this class. Well, I have necessary information to be able to do both, so I calculate both and take the average. That's the trick of this question. Alright, we're done with the numerical stuff. There are some conceptual issues I'm going to deal with. Firm uses its weighted average cost of capital to evaluate the proposed projects for all of its varying divisions. By doing so, now, the number that we calculate is a firm-wide number. Not all of firms' projects will be of equal risk. Okay? So if a project is riskier than the firm overall, then you need to add something to it. Okay? But if you use the same rate for all of the projects, that means you're using a rate that is much smaller than it should be for risky projects. So you're a lot more likely to accept risky projects, and you're using a rate that is too high for projects that are less risky than the firm. So you're more likely to accept riskier projects. So maintains the current risk level and capital structure of the firm. No, you would actually increase the risk level, because you will always, on average, you will accept projects that are riskier than the firm. So a firm's risk level will increase. Automatically gives preferential treatment and allocation of funds to its riskiest division. That is true, actually.